Okay, so today, owing to a combination of residual scholarly impulses and a desire to make the least watched video on YouTube, I thought I'd take you to go and see the grave of Maude Valerie White, who was once a very well-known English composer, but who has now fallen into obscurity. In the late Victorian, early Edwardian period, she was regarded as one of our greatest English songwriters, and was indeed a torchbearer for a lot of women composers who were starting out at that time. Figures like Lisa Lehman, who looked up to her as a figure. She was something of a cosmopolitan figure, multilingual, born in France and spent much of her time abroad, and it somewhat amuses me that she should have ended up in some obscure graveyard just outside Guildford. There are kind of many theories about why she is now so obscure. I suppose one of the main ones is that being a specialist in songwriting and not, like Ethel Smythe, being driven to produce operas and other large-scale works, she was bound to fall by the wayside in terms of the fact there are hundreds and hundreds of similar songwriters around. You are now entering Sutton Green. Beware of the natives. It's alright really, I'm a member of the Sutton Green Appreciation Society, so you know, they're not going to Wicker Man me just yet, I don't think. Here we are, the Church of St Edward the Confessor, Sutton Green. It's interesting that I was not aware of the fact that Maude Valerie White was buried here until quite recently. As a teen I used to come up here quite often because I rather liked this chapel on a hill, and sort of like I have a passion for visiting old churches, as it were. And it was only about, I think it must have been about 4 or 5 years ago now, that I picked up one of the leaflets inside and found her name inside it as being indicated as being buried here. Of course, she was only a name to me, so I did some research, looked her up and everything else, and was kind of surprised to find that somebody who had obviously been quite a big name in English music circles could now just be, if lucky, a name mentioned in the index, you know, of other greater composers. When I first came looking for the grave, I thought it looked a bit sort of underkept, and I thought the sort of carving seemed to be a bit faded, so I actually wrote to the local press about whether it would be possible to get it restored or not. But there was a response from the priest here saying that pretty much the grave was okay as it was, and no further repairs were underway or planned to be underway. It has to be said that one of the reasons I used to come here quite regularly is that it is in such a lovely setting, and as I pull around the side of it you'll see even more of that aspect. Okay, I've just come into the churchyard now. I'll just show you give you a quick glimpse of what I mean about this place being very scenic. And before going to Maude Valerie White's grave, here's the grave of Manuel Garcia, who is well known in operatic and other singing circles as the pioneer of the modern school of singing. His entire family seem to be buried here. I like the inscription here, poet, authoress and genius. Another songwriter who is represented here is George Posford, who was very big during the 1930s and 40s and wrote The World Is Mine Tonight, a big song for Harry Seacombe. Coming back through the gate and going to the grave of Maude Valerie White, which is the main reason this Verschlackene video is being made in the first place. I think you can probably see what I mean about the inscription being rather faded. I have to say that of all the songs I've heard by her, I can see no reason why there is such neglect of her work. And I just hope that her name will catch on again. I know there are lots of singers out there who know her work quite well, but I'm still looking forward to the day the CD of her work will be released. You are now leaving Sutton Green unscathed. Deo Grazia.